So what are you looking at? It's supposed to be a part of a news story or a news clip. And it's supposed to be Kabul, Afghanistan. Now just in this freeze frame, take a look at the clothing. The clothing looks pretty brand new to me. It doesn't look worn. It doesn't look tattered. The children look pretty healthy. Is it possible that these movie reels are being shot somewhere in America? Is it possible that they are shooting footage right here in America and claiming it's footage in Kabul, Afghanistan? Absolutely. In fact, a lot of the Gulf War footage and a lot of the other nonsense footage of war was shot out in the desert somewhere in California or Arizona or somewhere. So people think they're looking at Afghanistan, and it's a real possibility that this is just being shot somewhere here in the United States with a bunch of actors.
Hailed as heroes. And joining me now, ABC's Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz. Martha, we're learning a lot more about ISIS-K, the ISIS affiliate, enemy of the Taliban.
Hey, Martha has a pretty large neck. And so does Juju. Notice all that we are learning. We know this. They're always doing the we game on you, okay? And once again, I can't say it enough. Do not play the we game. We are not learning anything. If you're learning from what I'm teaching, not from these jokers.
Responsibility for the attacks and President Biden vowing retaliation. What can you tell us about the strike plans he's asked his commanders to prepare?
I'm sure they're just putting those together now, Juju, way up.
So you have two supposed ladies, newscasters, and what can you tell us? I'm sure that they're putting it together now. I'm sure. Right. Sure, you're sure. Come on. Wake up. It's just a bunch of gobbledygook nonsense. I'm sure that they're putting those plans together now.
Contingency plans, but President Biden did say he thought commanders knew where ISIS leadership, ISIS-K leadership as it's called.
Okay, with remaining the integrity of my channel and the cleanness of my channel, I just want to draw attention to this last name. And all I'm going to do is draw attention to it, and I'm not going to comment on it.
In Afghanistan, and was very firm about hunting them down, and we will go after you at the time and place of our choosing. They won't really choose the place, because wherever that ISIS leadership is where they would attack. You know, they had very good intelligence about a possible attack. They were.
So all of a sudden, out of the clear blue, this yo-yo is telling you about the inner workings of highly classified and highly secretive information, right? So we sit in front of a television set and believe that somehow some reporter somewhere is certain of all this stuff and knows all this stuff. Now keep in mind, it's all nonsense. But even within the nonsense, there's more nonsense. That somehow reporters know these things. And I'm certain of this, I'm certain of that. Well, I'm certain of one thing. They're liars.
Americans to get away from that gate, but it happened anyway. So intelligence is never perfect, and it will probably take a while before they find those ISIS commanders and can plan some sort of strike. But I believe this is something the U.S. will carry out.
And expand on that a bit, Martha. It's been a gut-wrenching day for the...
Oh. It's been a gut-wrenching day. Now, on one of my other channels, I did some videos on persuasion and how basically any individual has two systems that can be tapped into to persuade them. The first system is rational thinking, and I'm just going to point to this individual's head. Okay, the first system is absolutely good rational thinking based on logic. Now the second system, I'm going to locate it down in what we call the heart. Okay, the heart, emotions. All the persuasion that's done is done via emotions. And that system, while it's not flawless, it's highly effective. Which means that you can present the best and greatest rational arguments to an individual who has been persuaded. And those arguments will fail because they are utilizing the heart, the emotions, to govern their lives. So when she said it's been a gut-wrenching day, basically the viewer is going to connect with that. Oh yes, my gut has been wrenching all day. And I've been tied up in knots because of what I've been watching on TV. And it's highly effective.
You've been on the ground in Afghanistan in recent weeks with our soldiers. How will this terror strike, do you think, impact the final days of the mission and the morale going forward?
You know, I've talked to so many members of the military this past...
I've talked to so many. Oh, sure you have. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. You've talked to so many. And I just can't help but to get my eyes off of this big neck here. And it looks like there was an operation done here or something, where they're covering it up cosmetically, but it really looks pretty large neck to me. Not a short neck like a genuine lady has.
Were so upset about what they were seeing anyway and so worried about their...
There's the roll out the barrel. We'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel. We've got the blues on the run. That's the wheelbarrow polka, because they're taking an injured person to the hospital or somewhere in a wheelbarrow polka.
And now not only to lose Afghans, but all of these Marines and Navy corpsmen and Army, it is a devastating thing to be around. And I think all the more devastating, Juju, because frankly...
Juju. Hey Juju, you take a sad song and make it better. Juju bead, Juju bead.
Long time since the military has suffered a mass casualty like this, at least a decade in Afghanistan. We were getting out of these conflicts and all these beautiful pictures.
Yeah. This is why they went over there. To walk children around. Oh, and by the way, where are the parents? And why are they letting some stranger walk their child around? Is your heart not warmed with these little photos, ops? And does it not look to you like these are brand new clothing? Never been worn except for the filming?
Of our service members helping people, going out there, taking babies.
Yeah, that's why they went over there. Uh-huh. With their guns and their bombs and their bullets so they could help little children. And you know, the Afghan children are they're just waiting to go over and touch a soldier, you know. They're just, they know everything's so friendly and so nice, you know. They just line up on the streets and they say, "Oh, I just can't wait to see a soldier." Mm-hmm. That's the way foreign children are, you know. With soldiers. It's such a friendly time.
Pouring water on little kids. This was a mission that made them feel.
Pouring water on little kids. It's a mission. So you go into military and you get trained to go over to Afghanistan so you can pour water on little children. You see how they just take the most ridiculous thing and they put it with the most tragic thing. In a way, they combine the two forms of drama or play, and that would be comedy and tragedy, coming out of the Greco-Roman literature system. So they put a little bit of comedy in there, like, oh, the mission was to pour water on children.
Better, that they were trying to get all of these people out of there, evacuated and into safety, and certainly the people who had helped them in conflicts before. So this is a heavy, heavy loss, but they'll put their heads down and they'll try to finish the...
Right, she knows what they'll do, right? It's interesting how this reporter kind of knows exactly what's going on everywhere, right?
To the best of their ability.
So eloquently said, Martha, and just
Eloquently said, Martha. It was so eloquent. You're so wonderful. You did such a wonderful job of lying. I think if you look at both of them now, you can see the male features coming out, especially right now over here with this one on the right and this one here. You don't see any real actual development of, sorry to get a little graphic here, cleavage, okay? It isn't there because they're both men. Okay, that concludes the video. Thank you for watching. End of video.